Apache Spark Paired RDD. Why do we need Apache Spark Paired RDD? So when we work with data, it's a common use case to work with two items. The two items can be a key and a value. For example, if we have a log file, then the log level could be the key and the log line could be the value. And then we can ask how many errors did we have over the past 30 days or over the past 3 months. We could use another item which is very commonly used, the tuple. The tuple is a data structure just like list, but it can contain multiple types. So if a list would contain in Java or in Scala the type that you define that it contains, for example, a list of string could contain only strings, then a tuple is something, a data structure that contains multiple types of items. So we can say with brackets, some string, comma int, comma double, and close the brackets, and this would be a tuple of 3 items. When in Scala we create a tuple, simply by opening, closing brackets, standard brackets, and putting the items inside. This would translate to what we know from Java as the same exact thing as new tuple 3. So we could do new tuple 2, new tuple 3, new tuple 4, and these are actual classes that were created by the Scala developers. At this point, we can ask how many tuples do we have? So we have up to 22. Why do we have up to tuple 22? First, because I don't think anyone would define a tuple of 23, nor 22, nor 21, because you actually need to write them. It's not a list that you add items, at least not in a simple way. Its usage also is for these specific use cases. And there is this book that I haven't read, Catch 22. So maybe it's coming from there, that the last tuple is 22. So when we have a pair RDD, what do we gain by having it? Because we said that we have pair RDD because we have many use cases where we have a pair, a key and a value. So it would give us a bunch of methods, such as aggregate by key, group by key, which is not recommended to use, but later on this, and reduce by key. So when we say reduce by key, when we have a pair RDD and we tell it pair RDD dot reduce by key, we don't need to specify exactly how to reduce by the key. It would go over all the keys, and for each key, if we give it to sum 2 items, it would sum 2 items by each key. We don't have to create this logic by ourselves and decide on which key to reduce. It would just look at the list of keys and reduce by each of them by the function that we give it. And reduce is a function that takes a big data set and creates from it a smaller data set. Because if we do a reduce of sum, then if we have 5 items, it would take the first and the second item, reduce it to 1, sum it. Then we have 4 items, take the first and the second, again, sum them. Then we have 3 items, and this is why it's called reduce. In order to create a pair RDD, we can take a standard RDD and do RDD dot map to pair. And then in the brackets, we will tell how do we split the string if we have to key and value, and we would return a tuple of 2. But we won't get an RDD of tuple of 2, we would get a Java pair RDD. And this pair RDD will have the functions that we described, like aggregate by key, the group by key that is not recommended, and the reduce by key. And with the reduce by key, we can then pass a function on how to reduce the items.